Hello! Thank you so much for purchasing the light version of the ultimate gym or home workout tracker. I've worked really hard on these products, and in case you're wondering, my name is Chris. I'm an online fitness coach helping people who want to look good, build muscle, lose fat, transform their physique. I've made this tool because I use this exact one for my clients, and I want to help as many people as possible who don't want to pay for a personal trainer per session, still get all the benefits. So enough of that, let's get right into the tutorial. Feel free to follow along or set this at 1.5 times speed. Timestamps should also be in the description so you can navigate to any part that you like. Keep in mind that what I show you now is going to be the same if you have the gym workout version as well. Just some different exercises and programs. Okay, first, choose your workout. The question that you need to ask yourself is how many days can you work out per week? And be honest with yourself. Select one that's right for you. Read the note that explains how you'll see a lot more progress if you actually select a routine that works for you and you stick to it consistently rather than miss a few days here and there. So I'm going to choose a 4-day per week routine because I know that I can go at least four because I know that I can work out at least 4 times a week, either at home or at the gym. And then some options will appear for me here. So with the guidance below, you can choose what type of program fits with what you're looking for at this moment in time. And you can always make a new copy and change it up at a later date, which I will show you how to do towards the end of the video. Before I move on to the second step, let me just mention that there are instructions on every single tab that you can follow along very easily, such as the ones right here. This one specifically tells you how you can download this on your mobile and add it on your phone screen so that you can use it just like any other app when you go to the gym or when you start working out at home. So the second step is actually customizing your workout. And I give you the chance to do this because not everyone has the same equipment at home or even equipment at the gym. Not everyone has the same preferences in terms of exercises and rep ranges. You might even have an injury or you might not be able to do a specific exercise. For example, if you don't want to do chin-ups, you can click on the drop down and select a different exercise. And I've set it up so that every alternative exercise is equally effective for that specific movement. One thing that you need to do, and I also specify this in the instructions, is look through the program, and if you see the same movement twice, select a different exercise for the second option. It's generally beneficial to have some variation. There's no harm in doing an exercise, let's say twice a week, but you'd want to avoid more than that. Certainly not twice on the same workout. In terms of rep range, the same deal goes. I have a lot of rep ranges available because any of them work equally well when it comes to building or maintaining muscle, toning your body, and all that stuff. For some movements, like decline push-up, or let's say heavy squat, where you want to train heavier, closer to maybe 6 to 9 reps is ideal. So in this case, I know that I can do 6 to 9 reps. Maybe more than that, I won't be able to do properly. And for some movements like, let's say, crunches or dumbbell lateral raises, 6 to 9 means that I have to pick up some really heavy weights, or it's just too low of a number and that I will be able to do very, very easily. So I want to pick up a higher rep range, maybe 15 to 20 here instead. If you don't know what works for you, experiment. See what you prefer on different exercises, what feels better for your own body. There's no perfect number because everyone is unique. All our recommendations here can work. Then you set your weight increments. I've added some default values here for you so that the workout trackers work even if you don't feel anything out yourself. But for each exercise, what you want to do is select the difference by which your weights increase. This depends on your gym equipment or your home equipment. For bodyweight movements, you might want to leave it at 1. But let's say if your dumbbells increase from 2 kilograms to 4, then 6, 8, 10, so on. This means that they increase by 2 kilograms or pounds every single time. So if we look at the dumbbell flies here, then I'm going to select number 2 because my dumbbells increase by 2 kilograms or pounds every single time. Same with the upright rows here. If you've got plates that go from 5 to 10 kilograms, 15, so on, then you would select, for example, number 5 here. There's various options available depending on the number of plates you have. Again, your equipment might be different. And if you can't find the right one, you can also click on the edit button here and add another item that's custom to what you have available. Then a pop-up will appear. You should click apply to all instances so you can have that option available to all exercise if you need it. And we'll see this later on inside the trackers, how this helps tells you when to increase or decrease the weight you need to lift and by how much. And finally, we've got the rest times. Back to the decline push-up or squat example. If I'm training, if it's a heavy movement and I want to rest for a fairly long time, maybe I want to choose 3 minutes or even greater for the gym option. For another exercise such as crunches, where maybe I'm lifting lighter weight or I'm doing more reps, it's not as tiring. I feel like I can recover within 1 minute or so. I'm good to go. Again, don't stress over rest times. There's no magic number. As a rule of thumb, you don't want to waste too much time resting. If you feel fairly rested, your heart isn't beating too fast, and you feel like you could do another set and still push yourself, then you're good to go. There's no benefit on resting very little or resting for a really long time. Typically, 1.5 to 3 minutes is a sweet spot. These are really here for guidance. Inside the trackers, you can tap on them to open a countdown timer to help you track your rest times, or you can just leave the number there as a mental reminder to yourself. And last but not least, is the units. Don't forget to set this up, either kilograms or pounds, depending on what equipment you have. Before we move on, you can also see a graph with the muscle focus that tells you how much of each muscle group you're training per week. Just so you know, legs takes into account quads, hamstrings, and calves, so it's natural for it to be higher than the rest. And that's it with customizing your workout. Moving on to the dashboard, very quickly, you've got an indication on what day of the week you're training next and what week. One of my clients mentioned he'd like to see that too, so I've added that in. If you don't care about this, you can always right click the tab and hide it. Moving on to the trackers, you've got one for each training day. And again, since I'm only training for 4 days a week, I'm going to simply right click the ones that I'm not using and hide them from view. A pop-up might appear, but again, I can click OK because I'm happy. I know that I'm doing, and I don't want to waste any extra sheets, keeping everything nice and tidy. Now, this is the part you're likely going to want to do on mobile. And if I go back to the first tab, there's an easy guide on how to do that because you're likely going to want to use it when you're at the gym or even when you're training at home. Essentially, you're going to want to enter the reps and the weights you lift for each set of each exercise. For example, push-ups here, body weight movement, so there's no weight involved. 7 on the second because I was a bit more tired, and 7 once again. And for flies, whenever there's weight involved, you can also put in the weight. So 5 kilograms, let's say, is the one what I have at home. So each row is a different set. And then once you finish tracking your entire training day, what you can do to make it easier for you on the mobile version is click on this minus icon up here to hide that workout from view. You can always expand it from here again if you need to, but I'm going to leave this covered so that I don't have to scroll unnecessarily on my phone screen. The most useful feature here of the trackers is that we don't just tell you what you did last workout, we actually tell you something more useful: how much you need to lift today. Not only is there an algorithm behind the scenes using signs of progression, you can just show up at the gym, open your phone, and you immediately know exactly what to train. You don't even have to think about it. And that's what makes this like having a personal trainer in your pocket at all times. Based on your performance, you're going to keep seeing new targets each and every week. And this means that you know when to increase the weights, how many reps we expect you to do with that weight, and so on. Also, for body weight movements, if, for example, you keep doing, you're very able to do decline push-ups at 9 reps, which is the upper end of that spectrum, then you can now go back and select the high rep range just so you can keep progressing. It's 100% okay if you don't manage to hit your targets every single time. It's going to happen at some point. It's only natural. We're human. Push yourself as much as you can, and they will slowly adjust as you go. Now we're getting into the 2 Bodyweight Coach tabs involving nutrition and body weight tracking features, and this tool is my personal favorite. First of all, fill in your personal details in the calorie calculator page. Everything is straightforward with guidance for anything that you might not be sure about. select your experience level, and then fill in your stats by selecting metric or imperial units, the right activity level depending on your lifestyle. Don't worry if it's just an estimate for now. And then you click on which goal you want to aim towards. Look for what fits your goals. And speaking about goals, enter your new weight at the bottom. And this is going to be the target weight that you are working towards. Finally, how much fat you prefer for your diet. I have some notes in the next tab. Fat is an essential nutrient that your body needs to function properly. Some people want to go for high fat, some want to go for as little fat as possible. If you don't care, just leave it as moderate. Once you set up your calorie calculator, you won't really need to use this tab again. In fact, you can even hide it if you want to. The Bodyweight Coach tab is where everything is, and the first thing you need to do is set the starting date, which you filled in the previous information, so that's today, and I can add it by pressing Ctrl and semicolon. Now let me explain this page. The daily weight log is where you log your daily weight, ideally every morning after you wake up before you eat anything. Tomorrow's date populates automatically, and there's a small column which shows you how much weight you lost or gained from one day to the next. There's also calories that are displayed for each day, and this is how much you should be eating. You don't have to touch this at all. In fact, you can even hide the column if you don't care. But if you want to take a more advanced and personalized approach, you can overwrite this number if you eat more or less than this amount. And this will give you a more tailored recommendation. Which leads me to my next point, weekly guidance. Unlike any other online calculator which suggests a number that you can start off with, and it's a good way to begin, that number is quite generic. It doesn't fit your body type, your metabolism, your lifestyle, your biology. There's tons of different factors that are not taken into account. Bodyweight Coach tracks your body weight changes, which is based on your diet, it's based on your eating habits, your lifestyle, and each week it's going to give you a new recommendation. And if you keep following this, you'll see that over the long run, you're going to be moving towards your goal at the right speed. And this is important. If you're losing weight too fast, you want to avoid issues like having excess skin, or if you're gaining weight too quickly, you don't want to gain unnecessary fat. It lets you know when to make adjustments so that you're never guessing if what you're doing is the right thing. By far, this is the most useful feature that I haven't seen anywhere else, and this actively helps keep every single one of my clients in check and reach their goals on time. Moving on to the dashboard, you can see where you began, your starting weight, and your goal weight. This is your finish line, which are fixed numbers. You can also view your total weight lost or gained so far, proof of your hard work paying off, as well as how much weight is left. So how much further do you need to go? Keep pushing. You can also see that number expressed in days left to hit the goal if you follow the ideal weight change progression, so you can always stay motivated with a clear timeline. In fact, there is a progress bar below that, so you can watch your success grow as you move forward. These serve as really good motivation to keep you showing up every day and putting in the effort. Almost like a game, really. And there's also the current weight, which is your latest recorded weight in the daily weight log. A perfect visual snapshot of all your meaningful stats shown very clearly. And below them, you have the calories and macronutrients displayed in case you wanted to follow that. Two things I want to highlight, also expressed in the instructions. Number one is hit the protein goal daily if you want to build or maintain as much muscle as possible. And secondly, you can use these numbers to create a custom meal plan using AI. I have some simple steps on how you can do that, along with a prompt which you can copy, paste, fill in your personalized details, and it will create a fully custom meal plan for you in minutes. It's pretty insane. You need to try this out. Just don't show this to your nutritionist because they're gonna run out of a job. And finally, the body weight trends graph shows you your daily weight, along with a line for the ideal weight trend. So this is in a perfect scenario how your progress should look like. And a flat line to show your goal weight, giving you another visual cue of how close you are to reaching it. Before we end the video, I want to answer the question, what do you do after you use up this Google Sheet? So when you finish your first workout period, your first 8 weeks of working out, 8 weeks, by the way, is a good amount of time you should stick to a workout before switching to a new program. Any less, and your body isn't really getting all the benefits from getting better at going through the motions of doing the same exercises every week, you're missing out on some compounding results. In fact, if you find yourself still making a lot of progress, even towards the end of 8 weeks, when you switch, you can just keep doing the same workout. And the same question still exists with the Bodyweight Coach. What happens after you complete 20 weeks following Bodyweight Coach, which could run out as well? When you want to switch to a new goal or workout or receive a new update on the product, this is what you would do. The first step is finding the link to the original file, the one you downloaded once you bought the item. To access your digital files from your Etsy account, sign in to etsy.com and go to your account, go to your purchases and reviews. Next to the order, select Download Files. Otherwise, you might be able to find this PDF in your email as well. Then, if you click the link, you should automatically make a new copy of the Google Sheet. Otherwise, click on File and make a copy with a new name. Now that you've got a new empty file, it's time to copy in the data. And this is, without a doubt, the fastest way to do this. Open the two windows side by side, which you can do by clicking on the window and pressing the Windows plus either the left or the right arrow key if you're on Windows, and then find the data you've input. So anything that you yourself added or changed. Copy everything from the old one. I use Ctrl+C as a shortcut, but when pasting it, please be careful. Select Paste Special, and then Paste Values Only. Or you can use Ctrl+Shift+V as a shortcut. In the case where the format is a bit different, maybe there's other formulas working in the background that you don't know about, this helps keep everything working properly, so that there's not much chance for you to make any mistakes. If you do something wrong, simply press Undo, and if you can't figure out how to do this, please just contact me. I'm happy to help you or do it for you. That's right. If you're finding that this is too complicated for you, please just send me an email. I'm happy to do this process for you. Now follow the same process for everything you want to copy. Ctrl+C the data from the old file, and then Paste Special, Paste Values Only into the new file. Now let me give you a few important caveats and things to be careful of. For the customized workout page, you're planning to copy things from one to the other, so please do so one column at a time if you're going to copy the exercise options as well. This is because there are other formulas in the background that give you those default exercise options. Ideally, you can select the same workout, let's say, and then just copy paste this exercise column, this one, and so on. When it comes to the rep range, weight increments, and rest times, I'm pretty sure that you can do this together if you wanted to. For the trackers, I don't think you want to copy your old data, but if you wanted to for some reason, such as using a new product with updated features and transferring your data over to that, you would do this 1 week at a time and selecting only the data your inputs, not the targets or anything else. For the calorie calculator, the layout is a bit tricky to copy directly. The good thing is that, number one, there's not a lot of data here, and number two, you probably have slightly different stats starting off right now. So you want to fill in this page manually with your new numbers, particularly weight, goal weight, maybe even activity level. For Bodyweight Coach, again, you would starting off fresh with a new starting date, but if you wanted to transfer your old data to a new updated file, please do the date and weight columns together, copy paste as values, and then you can also do the same with just the calorie columns if you're filling those in. That is it. And I know that was a lot of stuff to cover here together. Feel free to go back to a certain section or come back here when you need it. Remember, for almost everything you'd want to do, there's also written instructions inside the file, and now that you've watched the tutorial video, they'll all make even more sense to you. If you still struggle with anything else, you can email me at info@trainingmadesimple.shop or message me on Etsy, or even reach out to my Telegram at coachchris_TMS. I'm more than happy to help. And share with you a quick video tutorial on what you want to cover, or even ask for edit access to correct or change something specific in your file. You can also reach out to me to give me any feedback And I would love to hear from you about any features that you suggest and that might be implemented into the official product. As a thank you, I will of course implement them directly into your item first. And aside from that, I mentioned that I'm also an online fitness coach. So if you've got any questions about fitness or nutrition, you know what to do. Telegram is probably the fastest way to contact me for that, and we can walk you through a strategy. Last but not least, it really helps our small businesses massively if you could leave a positive review on my Etsy store. It would mean the world to me, as it helps me know that people actually like my products, so that I can keep making more, keep working on them, and introduce new updates for you. Thanks again, and I hope to speak to you soon.